Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Anthony, random person offline. So yeah, looking at his team there, looks to be very powerful, very meta as well. Yeah, that's going to be an uphill battle. So yeah, looking at my team, it is the same one that I've been using the past several games here. So, what do I want to lead with in this one? Hmm, that is the question. I think we're gonna go for the... That is a good question. Good question. Yeah, it's a tough one actually. Let's go for the Indeedee. Let's give that a shot. And we'll see how that works out. All right. So it looks like he is going to go ahead and lead with the Dragapult as we lead with the Indeedee. So we're going to go ahead and get the Psychic Surge, set the Psychic Terrain up on the battlefield. And so the situation we are in is that we are Choice Scarf, which means normally we could outspeed pretty much anything. Now, unfortunately, this is a Dragapult, and I think even with max speed investment plus a Scarf, I think this thing still outspeeds us, which is pretty abysmal. But I think that is the case actually. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to go ahead and straight up switch into our Weezing here. He might U-turn, he might go for a dragon move, but either way I think this is the best possible choice. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Weezing. Galarian as he goes for the U-turn, not going to do much of any damage to us as we do resisted X4, but it is going to give him the pivot. So now he does get to choose a matchup against the Weezing. So what is it going to be? It's going to be the Clodsire. So that thing is coming in, and so we are going to get that HP back with the leftovers, which is nice. And so at this point, I think what we can actually do here is we can go ahead and just fire off a Fire Blast to see how much damage we can get on this thing. He might just stack Hazard, so we do outspeed, go for the Fire Blast. Does basically no damage to this thing, as he does go for the Stealth Rock to get the entry hazard up on us. Not too big of a deal since we do have Defog on deck, and then this thing is going to get some HP back with its leftovers. And yeah, so now we have a choice to make. Do we want to defog now, or do we want to Fire Blast again? So I think we'll try to fish for the burn, and we'll go Fire Blast again, see what he wants to do. So we go for the second Fire Blast, not doing much of any damage to this thing, and no burn, which is unfortunate. He does go for Bulldoze, which is fine because it's not going to touch us thanks to Levitate. So guess he was maybe hoping we didn't have it, but no, we do, as he does get some HP back with the leftovers. So now he's probably going to switch. I think now's the time to defog, so this turn we're going to go ahead and defog, see what he wants to do. He is going to go for the switch. So what does he bring in to face the Weezing now? It is going to be the Ogerpon. So that's kind of fine, actually, as we do defog, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of those rocks, which is kind of fine. And we're going to cut that thing's evasion, which doesn't really matter, but we do erase the Psychic Terrain as well, which doesn't really matter too much right now. But I think in this situation, we just Sludge Bomb this thing. He could Terra, I suppose, but we're just going to Sludge Bomb anyway to try and hit him hard. He does go for an Ivy Cudgel here, and it does quite a lot of damage, actually, over 50%, which sucks. We do go Sludge Bomb in return. It's not quite enough to get the KO, even at max special attack, which is unfortunate. But then we do get some HP back with the leftovers. Now, unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to be able to take another Ivy Cudgel here, so we're going to have a little bit of a choice to make. Do we want to sack off the Weezing? I don't want to sack Weezing at this point, so I think our play is actually to go into the Hisuian Decidueye, so that's what we're going to do. It's the best thing we have to block a water move. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and see what he wants to do. So there it is. and he does just Ivy Cudgel again, so that actually still does quite a bit of damage to us, even despite the resistance. Takes us down by about a third HP, and then we do get some HP back with the leftovers. So I don't know if this thing really can, I mean, it could have something to hit us with, but I'm not sure what kind of coverage he's going to have. I feel like our best bet here is to probably go triple arrows. He does have, obviously, switches to just about anything we can do, but I feel like, yeah, we probably just go triple arrows as our best bet. So he does have knockoff, so he is going to knock off here. That is going to take us down to about half and get rid of our leftovers, which is a little unfortunate, but we do go for a triple arrows in return. From that range, it'll be more than enough to get rid of that Ogre Pond Wellspring form, that is, and knock him down to 5 Pokemon. So that's not too bad. Losing the leftovers kind of sucks, but it kind of is what it is, as now he goes ahead and comes in with Dragapult. So in this situation, I don't necessarily know that we have the best of switches to Dragapult. The Weezing is chipped, obviously, so that's bad. I don't know if Hisuian Decidueye is really that useful at this juncture. So I feel like we probably just stay in and then go for another triple arrows. I think that's our play here. He probably just takes us out, but that's what we're going to do, as he does go Flamethrower. And so, yeah, that'll definitely take us out from that range, unfortunately. So we do lose the Hisuian Decidueye, and we go down to 5 as well. Not much we could do about that, but yeah, now we get to decide a matchup on this thing. What do we want to bring in to face this thing? I feel like going into Incineroar might be okay. We could also go into the Milotic. One or the other. I think we'll go into Incineroar. I think that's the best play. So we'll go Incineroar here. We are Assault Vest, so we can take special attacks pretty well. The fact that he has Flamethrower makes me believe he's going to be a special set. He could be mixed, but it seems like a special set. But we do get the Intimidate to cut his attack. And at this point, I think our best play is just to go for a knockoff. I don't think he stays in here, but we do get to remove an item. Yep, he does switch, so he could very well be choice. Otherwise, he might have just U-turned for the chip damage. So he's going to go ahead and come in with the Corviknight, kind of as expected. That thing does get the pressure coming into play, and so we do go for a knockoff here, which is going to do pretty decent chip damage to that thing, although it does knock off our his Rocky Helmet. We get chipped from it first, though, so that's actually not too bad. Now here we could actually go for a Flare Blitz to take this thing out, but I kind of don't want to, because I feel like Incineroar needs to stay as healthy as possible, and we're going to take a lot of damage if we do this. So I feel like our best bet is probably going to be to switch into something else to take this thing on. Unfortunately, we don't really have the best of switches on this team to take on a Corviknight, but I think our best bet is probably going to be Milotic, so we're just going to go ahead and go to Milotic here, see what he wants to do. So there it is, and he is going to Body Press, so that is going to do some chip damage to us, not a ton, which is good, and then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So not 100% sure what he's going to want to do here. If he's Water Absorb on the Clodsire, he could try to come in with that. He could try to come in with the Dragapult, predicting the Water move as well, so I feel like the Water move's kind of risky right now. I don't think he stays in here. So what I'm actually going to do is go for an Ice Beam to see if I can catch one of those coming in, as he does just straight up switch the Corviknight. And what does he come in with? It is going to be, I think that is the Clodsire. Yes, so it's probably Water Absorb if that's the case. We do go for the Ice Beam instead, though, and that does do pretty decent chip damage to that thing, actually. And then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So he's also going to get some HP back with the leftovers. I feel like at this point he's probably Water Absorb, the fact that he brought it in so freely against the Milotic. So I think we're just going to keep on Ice Beaming this thing. That's our plan. As we do outspeed it, there's the next Ice Beam. Not quite enough to take him out. He just barely survives. We get the crit, which is pretty incredible, as he does actually go for the Toxic in return, which is going to badly poison us and kind of limit Milotic's longevity here, but that's kind of okay, because We get some HP back with the leftovers. We are going to take some poison damage as he also gets some HP back with the leftovers. But I think it was well worth it to kind of really wear that Clodsire down to the point that now it really can't take an attack from anything. So I feel like we still just keep on Ice Beaming. That's going to be our play. He does stay in to sack the Clodsire off, which is great. The next Ice Beam obviously does take it out and knock him down to 4 Pokemon. So Milotic is putting in the work once again here, which is pretty nice. And then we do get more HP back with the leftovers, and then we take more damage from the poison. So we'll see what he wants to come in with in response here. It is going to be the Dragapult once again. So that thing is in. I kind of feel like he might be going for a Dragon Attack now. That's my gut feeling at this point. So what I want to do predicting that is I really want to switch into the Galarian Weezing. I think that's going to be the best way to go. So yeah, we're just going to straight switch into the Galarian Weezing here, predicting the Dragon move. He could go for a Ghost move, I suppose, but yeah, I think this is the way to go. So we come in with Galarian Weezing. He does Thunderbolt actually instead, and that actually does take us out. So that's unfortunate. We lose Weezing there and we go down to 4. But I feel like he's probably choice. I feel like that thing is probably choice. So here's the question, ladies and gentlemen. Do we give Iron Thorns one more chance to try and redeem itself? And I feel like I say this every game because I've given Iron Thorns chance after chance after chance in these battles with this team to try and redeem itself. It has not really popped off the way I wanted it to just yet. But you know what? Screw it. Let's give Iron Thorns, let's try it one more time. I'm not quite ready to Terra it yet, but we're going to give Iron Thorns a chance. We're going to go ahead and come in with Iron Thorns, get the Cork Drive, go ahead and activate the Booster Energy to increase our attack. So now the question is, what does he switch in to face the Iron Thorns? I feel like he definitely switches here, and yeah. What does he switch in, though? I feel like we Dragon Dance. I think that's the play, no matter what. So yeah, let's get a Dragon Dance up and see what he does. He does switch, so that thing's definitely choice, probably Specs if I had to guess. And he switches into the Corviknight, so that's kind of okay. Corviknight is in. It's got the pressure coming into play. We are going to go ahead and get our Dragon Dance. So we got the Dragon Dance on the Iron Thorns. We're going to get that attack and speed increase. So here's the real question at this point, is we know this thing has Body Press. So what we could do is we could actually go ahead and Terrastalize into a Flying type so that we actually resist the Body Press and get another Dragon Dance off. But that would be obviously going all in on Iron Thorns. So the question is, one more time, do we go in on all in on Iron Thorns again? It hasn't worked out for us very well in the past. So I don't know if I really want to do that. I kind of don't. So you know what? I think I don't want to go all in on Iron Thorns. We're just going to go for I think we'll go for a Supercell Slam here. As we do outspeed after one Dragon Dance. There's the Supercell Slam, and it does take the Corviknight out and knock him down to 3 Pokemon. So Iron Thorns did something positive this game, which is more than I can say for it in other games. But yeah, there it is. Decided not to go quite all in on the Iron Thorns, but we are giving it a chance to shine. So now he's going to go ahead and come in with the Iron Valiant, and he does have a booster energy of his own, and the Cork Drive is going to activate to increase his speed. So I feel like it's probably okay that we didn't do that Dragon Dance play, because even if we would have done that, I feel like even at +2, we still get outsped by this thing with a booster energy, because unfortunately Iron Thorns does not have great speed. So now I think is going to be the moment of truth where we're going to go ahead and Terrastalize the Iron Thorns into a Flying type to resist the incoming Fighting attack, more than likely, that he's going to go for. And I think I feel like Earthquake with all the boosts we have is enough to take this thing out. I don't want to miss a Supercell Slam. But it is, you know what, I don't know if it's, I don't know. I feel like Earthquake with the boosts is enough. So let's go Earthquake. Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and pop, we're going to go ahead and pop our Terra, and we're going to go ahead and Terrastalize our Iron Thorns here into the Flying type once more, which will go ahead and lose all of our prior weaknesses here. So there it is. And he does go for the Aura Sphere, so we do take that very well. We go for the Earthquake in return. It should be enough, hopefully, with all those boosts. And it's actually not enough, even despite all those boosts. That's pretty crazy, that it actually was not enough, even despite all those boosts. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But what can you do except go for another Earthquake here as he goes for the Moonblast this time. We can still take it, just barely. He does get a special attack drop, not that it matters, but we do take a ton of damage, which we otherwise wouldn't have had to take, unfortunately. We do go for the Earthquake, which the second one will take that Iron Valiant out, knocking him down to 2 Pokemon. So we are still putting in work with the Iron Thorns. Despite that, we are still putting in work. Now, he does come in with the Dragapult, and we can't take an attack from this thing, but we're just going to go ahead and stay in and click Ice Punch here, see what he wants to do, as he does go Thunderbolt, and surely from that range, that will take care of the Iron Thorns, and that will knock us down to, I believe, 3 Pokemon. But that's okay. Iron Thorns did put in work in that game, about as much work as we can expect it to put in, and that's okay. So we have 3 Pokemon left. I feel like at this point we do come in with the Incineroar. I think that's our play, since we are Assault Vest and we know he's got to be locked into Thunderbolt. So we come in, get the Intimidate to cut his physical attack, and now he's got the King Gambit is his only other Pokemon, so he's going to have to switch to the King Gambit if he is not choice item here. I suppose he could stay in, but you know what? Yeah, it's just to hit us with a Thunderbolt. So just in case, I think we do knock off here, in case he decides to stay in, because he very well could. As he does, he goes for a Thunderbolt. We do take that very well, and then we do go for the knockoff, which is going to just go ahead and one-shot that Dragapult, which is incredible. That is going to go ahead and knock him down to just 1 Pokemon, and we do reveal the choice specs with the knockoff. So that is pretty great. Now he's going to come in with his last Pokemon. It is the King Gambit, so there it is. And he's got the Supreme Overlord coming into play, so he's got a ton of attack boosts here. Since we know he's not Defiant, I feel like we want to recycle the Intimidate on the Incineroar. We're just going to go ahead and switch directly into our Indeedee here, simply because Indeedee can't really do anything to this thing. So we're going to go ahead and switch Indeedee in. We do get the Psychic Surge, though, which might be helpful for blocking that Sucker Punch, as he is going to go ahead and bust out his Terra on the King Gambit. So what does he Terra into with the King Gambit? It is going to be a Flying type. So he does have Terra Flying King Gambit in play. And so actually now we might be able to do something as he Swords Dances. Okay, so now we might actually be able to do something to the King Gambit with the Indeedee. So he's going to get that attack increase. And now I feel like we can nail this thing with an Expanding Force. He can't go for a priority move, so we're just going to click Expanding Force here. He goes Sucker Punch, but the Psychic Terrain is going to block it. I don't know if he knew that or maybe forgot that, but he's going to know it now. We hit him up with the Expanding Force. Not quite enough to take him out, though. He does survive in the red. But we're just going to go ahead and click Expanding Force again. He tries to Sucker Punch again, but he knows, because he knows it doesn't matter at this point. Obviously not going to touch us as we go for the next Expanding Force, and that is going to be enough to go ahead and finish that King Gambit off. And that is game. So we are going to win that one 3-0 against Anthony, but that was actually a really good match. Very competitive, high-octane game there, fun game. Definitely an uphill battle with all of those higher-tier Pokemon than ours, but very happy with that one, actually. Definitely just a really good game there, a really fun one. But that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching again, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. Also, this is going to be the last match that I post with this team. I did have fun using it to a point, but I will say, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, this team did actually kind of disappoint me. I feel like it didn't do as well as I thought it was going to, or I thought it could have, or certainly not as well as I wanted it to here. But that is part of the process. Sometimes teams don't work out quite as well as you think they will. But yeah, I still had fun using it, and it still had its moments. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. But yeah, we will be putting this team to the side for now. And coming up next time, I'm not really 100% sure what I'm going to have in store for you guys, because I do want to still make at least another few new singles teams, but I'm kind of getting to the point on Scarlet and Violet where it's hard to continue to make new singles teams with Pokemon that I haven't used on Scarlet and Violet, because that's really my goal, if you guys haven't noticed, is every time I make a new singles team, it's Pokemon that I haven't used on Scarlet and Violet. So keeping with that theme, it is getting increasingly harder with all the Pokemon that I have used to come up with actual good teams and actual Pokemon, I should say, filled with actual Pokemon I want to use. But I am going to continue to try to put those together for you guys. I may come back with a singles team next time. I may do some more doubles or multis or VGC or something. I'm not 100% sure, but I will have more content on the horizon for you guys either way. So, but yeah, stay tuned for all of that. That's it, and we'll see you next time.